Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us today for the Wix eCommerce School. Today, we're going to talk about how to get your store ready to sell. We're going to discuss how to define shipping regions and rates, how to set up delivery and curbside pickup, automating tax calculations, customizing your store policies, creating your checkout form, and eventually, we're going to wrap up with live questions and answers from you guys. So I'm so excited to introduce you to Lee Ben David, who is our UX designer from Wix Stores, and so honored for you to meet Crystal Etienne, who's the CEO and founder of Ruby Love. And instead of me trying to explain what Ruby Love is all about, I will let you watch a movie that we have recently created.
I built a multi-million-dollar company just on the topic of that time of the month. As of today, the revenue is over $22 million. Ruby Love is leak-proof underwear and swimwear for your period. In 2 years, this company went from 1 employee to over 40 employees in our own fulfillment center. From the beginning to now, I've always used Wix, and we actually still use that same template to this day. And then as I grew, I started to use more features of Wix, adding in the tracking, printing labels, the shipping. My first initial was to get to 100,000. I had surpassed that. And then I went to 5.5, and then I went to a little over $10 million. None of those were my goal. My goal was just to sell some underwear. That was it.
So I hope you're excited as much as I am because we really appreciate you being here with us, Crystal. And Crystal, as you can see, is one of our best sellers, and we're so proud to have you here. So feel free to ask questions in the comments, and I will ask both Lee and Crystal to answer those live. So thank you so much for taking part of this. This is recorded and will be sent to you. So no need to take notes or anything. Let's start. Lee.
Hey, thank you, Ariel. I'm very excited to be here today. And today we are gonna talk about the sometimes scary yet essential issues that your online business can truly function without. And these are shipping, tax, checkout forms, and site policies. These are issues that might sound less fun, not to me, but are stuff you need to check off your list in order to truly get you started. So as Ariel said, I am a UX designer that your online business can truly function without. And these are shipping, tax, checkout forms, and site policies. These are issues that might sound less fun, not to me, but are stuff you need to check off your list in order to truly get you started. I'm sorry. So, as I said, I am a UX designer. It's your online business. Okay. I hope you all heard what I said, but I'll just continue from here. So as I said, I'm a UX designer at Wix Store, and much like a lot of you, I guess, I had no idea how even to approach these scary issues when I started working on these features at Wix Stores. So I sat down and did my research, read blogs and government websites, and found out it is not that bad, and even started to like it a little bit. We had a group of friends here at Wix, and we called ourselves tax experts for a while. Nobody else thought it's funny other than us, but it was fun. So yes, these topics require some work to be done before actually sitting down with your computer and setting it all up. And today we're gonna walk you through these topics and some tips and tricks and best practices. So hopefully it will be less intimidating after. Okay, so you set it up your catalog and your website looks great and it's all amazing. But there are a few important matters that you should handle before you're all good to go. And this is what we're going to talk about today. We will start with shipping. This is one of the topics that can evolve together with your business. you as a business owner need to figure out what is the most profitable way for you to offer shipping. And the answer to these questions have two parts. The first one is where you ship to, and the second one is how much you charge for shipping. And let's start with the end result. As you can see here, in the cart or checkout page, your Wix sites recognize where your customer is from based on his IP or the information he provides. So it knows to display the right shipping options to your customers. But in order to get there, you need to set up your shipping regions first. A shipping region can be several countries, a single country, or even a specific sub-region within a country that you want to give a specific shipping treatment to. For example, I want to offer shipping for customers from Germany, but don't want to ship internationally. So to get you started, we create these two shipping regions for you, domestic and international, as you can see here, based on where you're located. But of course, you can adjust to meet your specific needs. You can disable a region like this. You can edit a region. You can delete a region. You can rename it. And you can add more countries to it. If the country you ship to have sub-regions like US or UK or France, you can select to create a shipping rule only to some of the sub-regions. Let's say I want to offer both shipping and pickup to California, and pickup only and shipping only to the rest of the US. So I can do it this way. I can edit from this link the sub-regions I want to offer the shipping option within this specific region. And of course, you can add more regions as you need. The result of this process are that at checkout, customers will be presented with the relevant shipping options based on their locations. So as you can see here, we are presenting a selection for users that are within a shipping region, and we're selecting a notification that, sorry, we don't sell to New York if I haven't added New York to my shipping region.
Lee, thank you. Thank you. That was really good. I actually have a question for Crystal. So we know that like right now you're shipping internationally and everywhere, but when you just, when you just started, how did you decide where to ship products to?
I decided to ship products to whoever purchased one. That's the answer. I figured it out as I went, and Wix was actually very helpful with helping to do that. So I thought that I would only be selling in the US because that's where we're located at. Our manufacturers are here. We ship from here. Everything is done here. We produce everything here. So I thought I would just only be selling to people in the US. And then when we started seeing like our biggest countries, which is like the UK, Canada, and Australia, New Zealand started, actually Singapore too, and Korea, we just started shipping everywhere. Like I literally really went everywhere, and Wix made it very easy because I was able to go in and to separate like domestic and international. So that's my answer. Like I shipped everywhere all the time.
Gotcha. Cool. That's a great way to start. So I'm gonna ask Lee. I'm gonna ask you a few questions from the audience. So for example, we got a few questions ahead of time. So thank you for those who submitted these questions. For example, people ask, how can they set different delivery fees on individual items? And also, how can they set up different shipping rates for different products? For example, if they have stuff with print on demand. And lastly, we got a question about calculating shipping for products that have a huge variation in weight. Like for example, crystals. So Please explain.
Okay, amazing. Those are amazing questions, and we understand that each store is unique and each products are unique, and we try to build the solutions that will meet your needs and will help you get the best shipping rates you can offer to your customers. So actually, those are the things I'm gonna talk about next. So I'll just continue. And I will answer your questions as I go. So, after we figure out where to ship to by defining shipping regions, we need to figure out how much we want to charge for it. And this means adding your shipping rates. And the challenge here is finding the most cost-effective method, both for you and for your customers. And we know that deciding how much to charge for shipping can be tough. And it might take a few tries until you will find the sweet spot of not charging too much or too little from your customers. So don't panic and start with something and optimize as you go. And all those questions that we heard from the audience are great because it demonstrates us how shipping can be different for each one. So we offer a few options for you to set up your shipping rates. And rates are added per shipping region. The same shipping region we just demonstrated how to set up before. So you can select a different method per region. Within each region page, you will be asked to select a shipping calculation method. And this basically means choose how you want the rate to be calculated at checkout. Our default is free shipping. And this is a great marketing tool if you can afford it. We all as customers love seeing free shipping when we are visiting a website. So if you can afford it, of course, consider offering it to your customers. And maybe even increase your product price a little bit so it will cover the cost and you will still be able to offer free shipping. But we know this method won't be relevant to all of you. So we have other, of course. And the next option is shipping as a flat rate. And this can be used if your shipping expenses for every delivery rates are pretty much the same. For example, you always use the same carrier with the same flat rate box within this region. So you can use this method if this applies to you. And the way you actually setting it up, now we will walk you step by step, it's very easy. First, you need to enter the delivery option name. Here I entered standard shipping. You can enter the estimation delivery time so your customer will know when to expect the delivery. And you can add rates. And of course, you can add more than one option per region. For example, I want to offer to my customers standard shipping for free, but I want to offer express shipping as well, but for these options, I would like to charge a bit more. So I can use this link here to add another delivery option to do it. I'm just clicking this link and then I can set up another delivery option. I'll give it a name, express delivery, and the estimation delivery time, and the rate for this option, I decided to charge $10. Another thing I can do is offer free delivery above a certain amount, like a certain cart value. And this can be a good incentive for my customers to spend a little more. So let's say I want to offer this express delivery option for free above $100. So I can do it as well. And getting back to the checkout, this is how it will look. It will be presented to my customers, so they will be able to choose from the standard shipping, and the express shipping. And all the information is displayed here, so they know how much it's gonna cost and how much how long it's gonna take them to receive their delivery. Another option I'll talk about is rate by weight. And of course, it makes sense. The more the package will weigh, the more you will probably be paying for shipping it. So here you can give different rates for different weight range. You can set up your own weight range and edit the rate that you want to charge for each one. And if you are selecting this method, don't forget to add the actual product weight to the product page. So at the cart and checkout, your site will know, the cart will know to calculate how much shipping is gonna cost. And another option is adding rates per price range. This can be used like, let's say, if shipping for free or for a small fee is not cost effective to you, but after a certain threshold it is. So you can establish your price range and give a different shipping rate for each one of them. And another cool option that we are recently released is shipping by product type. And we got some question about it before, so if it's relevant to you, listen up. Let's say some of your products are fragile or printed on demand products and will cost more to ship or will have a different shipping rates for you than other products in your stores. So here you can create different product groups and give them different rates. And last one, for our US users, you have another option to get real-time rates at checkout using USPA's calculated rates. This basically is based on the type of packages you use and USPS service you select. So if this is relevant to you, check it out. We also have a lot of information in our knowledge base articles. So if you think this is the right way for you, you can just learn all about it there. So these are the options. Think about your products and how you're going to ship them, and do your research with your shipping carriers that are available in your locations. All the information is available online, usually at their website. And remember that getting to the sweet spot might take some time, so don't panic and just adjust as you go. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Lee. So Crystal, another question for you. How did you figure out how much to charge for shipping?
So I purchased a scale from eBay for about $15. But the majority, when I first started, the majority of my items were less than a pound. They were like 3 ounces. Like if someone buys an underwear, it's about like 3 to 4 ounces, just one underwear. But then once we started getting into like swimsuits and bundles and things like that, then it was different amounts. So I purchased a scale. It was $15. You could probably even get it cheaper off of Amazon now these days. And I would just weigh everything, and after you start selling your products, you pretty much know. Like to this day, if someone asks me like how much your package is, if someone has like spends like $250 on like swimwear and underwear and pajamas or like our sleepwear and things like that, our fulfillment team like knows it. I used to know it because I used to do it all the time. So it was just a matter of like getting a scale, buying the scale, because before I got the scale, what made me get the scale was I used to go to the post office all the time to drop off my packages, and the post office people are not the nicest people all the time. And I used to, like an underwear is small, so I used to put it in like a little envelope, like as if you're like mailing. And I found out probably after like 3 weeks, like you just can't do that. Like it's considered like a parcel. So I found out the hard way, but getting it and doing it, it was rather easy. Like once I got the information, it was just, I just purchased the scale. And like I said, to this day, I know how much pretty much everything weighs. And then I had to factor in like the handling of it, because there is labor involved with shipping a package. And Wix made it very easy, as you just showed, Lee, like how you can either put in like the weight, or you could just put in like a standard flat amount. That's just what I did. Like, to find out how much something weighed, I used the post office people being mean to me and my scale. And I just fixed it from there. And the scale literally is not a lot of money at all.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you. These are such great insiders tips. Thank you for that. Okay, so Lee, we had a question from our audience asking regarding COVID-19, and in light of what's happening, a lot of our users are now moving online and offering pickup. So what kind of solution does Wix offer?
Okay, these are like just what I'm going to talk about next. So great timing. We actually offer two ways to offer pickup to your customers. And we have an option. You can offer pickup only for your customers, or you can offer pickup together with shipping. And both of these options are really easy to set up. So let's start with the pickup only. Let's say I'm gonna offer pickup to California, and this is the only place I want to offer pickup to. So I'm just selecting California at this region that I'm creating, and at the drop-down, I can select store pickup only, and I'm entering all the pickup information, and that's it. I'm done. I'm offering pickup to California. So this is one way to do it. And at the checkout, customers from California will see this option only. They will see the curbside pickup option that I just set it up, and with all the pickup instruction. So if you want to offer pickup only, this is the way to do it. But we are also enabling offering pickup and shipping within the region. So for each one of the region of the method I showed before, the flat rate, rate by weight, etc., under advanced settings at the bottom of the page, there's an option to allow store pickup as well. So your customers will be able to choose at checkout if they want the item to be shipped or if they want to pick it up. And the way to do it is just like ticking this box here to allow store pickup, entering the pickup information, the pickup title, pickup address, and you can add more info for customers to know more about how it's going to be done, like when will the order be ready to pick up, and some other instruction. Let's say you want to let your customers know that you are allowing social distance, or that you want them to come with a photo ID. So this is the place to let them know. And at the checkout, your customers will be able to choose between the shipping options and the pickup options, and all the information will be available to them there. Okay, so this was pretty much it for shipping. And now let's talk about tax, baby. I must admit, I love this topic, but I wasn't always so into it. As a UX designer, I never imagined I need to have any understanding of this topic at all. But then I had to work on some projects that are related to it. So I took my time and read every tax blog and government website. And let me tell you, if I figure it out, so can you. So first and most important, do your research. Learn the tax rules in your jurisdictions, consult tax experts or accountants. You most likely need to be registered as a tax collector. You can just start collecting tax wherever you want. So do it as well. And once you get this done, the setting up itself is super easy. And we have actually two ways to calculate tax rates at Wix. You can choose between manual when you are setting up your own rates or the automatic solution. And in both of the options, you will need to add the countries you need to collect tax from, of course. Most of the time, it won't be from everywhere around the world and more like only when you're located, but please don't take my word for it. And there are different rules that can be applied to you. So consult a tax expert and read a few blogs about it. And once you know where you need to collect tax from, just add a country here. You see this button, add country. You can select the country that you need to collect tax from. And if you're in a country like US, when you can select the state level as well. And if you're in a country that have sub-regions, you will be able to set up the tax rate per region. And so once I added the country I need to collect tax at, I'll be able to add the tax rate itself. Let's say I need to collect this amount at California. And another thing that I can do here is specify if I need to collect tax on digital products and on shipping as well. And this is something that is being determined per location. It's under the tax laws if you need to collect tax on shipping and digital products, if you sell digital products or offer shipping. So check what you need to do if this is relevant to you. And voila, we are collecting tax at this location. That was easy. This means that if a customer is from a location you're collecting tax from, tax will be charged from him at the checkout. And as you can see here, the total price of the item is less than 30 at the payment summary down there. And this is because I selected to include tax in my product price. This is something that you can change based on your local common practices or law. And I'll explain a bit more. As you can see here at the bottom of the page, I have tax settings. And you can determine if your product prices already includes tax or not. And I'll show you an example, like a side-by-side example, how what effect will it do. As you can see on the right, my product price here on the right does not include tax. So for an item that costs $100, I'm adding another $10 of taxes, and the total will be 110. But if the prices are including tax already, so the breakdown is a bit different. The total will be 100, and the item cost is less than 100, and I can also see how much tax I paid from this 100. And this is something that can be different per location. Customers in the US they know that when they are seeing the label on the t-shirt they are buying or the product they are looking at an online store, they know to expect that this is not the final price. They might be surprised with extra taxes when they will reach the cart and checkout. But in other locations like Europe, for example, it's the other way around. Like the prices you see for the product is usually the final prices. So make sure you check what applies to you and how you want to set it up. And another thing you can do at the cart page on your editor, on your Wix site, you can decide if to display tax at this point, or if you want to hide it and have customers seeing the taxes only at the checkout. So if you want to set it up, go to the editor, to the cart page, and do it from there. And we talked about the manual option. And the second way to calculate tax is our automation solution. These options give real-time rates at the checkout based on your location, your customer location, and the real-time rates supplied by a third party, a company that we work with, that's called Avalara. And this is, of course, a good option if you don't want to figure out tax rates on your own, and a good option for if you, for example, need to collect different tax rates per zip code. So this saves you the hassle of setting it up. Okay.
Great. Thank you, Lee. We know this could be a little bit more challenging, but I'd like to mention that we do have Wix partners in our Wix marketplace, partners that can help you and guide you through this process and the setup of the taxes in your store. So feel free to check it out. And now we have another question from the audience. Someone in Massachusetts said that we don't pay tax on clothing there, but we do on other goods. How do I only have tax applied for some items without just adding it to the price?
Okay. This is an amazing question, and this is like more of an advanced settings for taxes. Not all of you will have to deal with it. If I'll come back to my slides, you can see that under our automated solutions, we have an option to add product tax groups. And this basically means that you can divide your products into groups and to add to them a specific tax code, also supplied by Avalara, that will give the most accurate tax rates based on what you're selling. So let's say you're selling medical products and you need different tax rates for them. So you can create a group for them and attach a tax code that is relevant, for example, medical product. So a different tax rate, the correct tax rate, will be applied to those products at checkout. So this is available, but again, it's more like of a advanced tools, but it is fully available under our automated solution. So if you need it, just use our automated solution and you can find it there.
Perfect. Thank you, Lee. Let's get another question. So now that I set up my taxes and everything, how can I change the information displayed on my checkout page?
Okay. So the checkout is another topic more on maybe on the legal side that you need to make sure is ready for business. We have a few things there that you can do and set up, and I'm going to talk about them next. And the first, this is actually how to set up your store policies and checkout settings. So you see, when you look at your checkout page, you can see a few things here, like this checkbox near the place order button that asks users to agree on terms and conditions. And the checkout page itself have a few customization options that I want to talk about. And first, let's start with the site policies. Okay. So to customize your checkout form and add site policies, you need to go to the store setting page. And this is like a small tip that I usually use when working on my business manager at Wix. You see the search bar on top in the header. I personally find it very easy just to search for the relevant page that I need and get there from the search menu, but this is like up to you how you want to navigate it. So once you're here, you see that we have a place to add your store policies. And you can add your terms and conditions, privacy policy, return policy, and you can even create your own policy. So it will be added to your checkout page as well. And to do it, you just click the checkbox here and add the text that you want for your policy. So I think we heard a lot of questions about how do I write it? Should I get a lawyer, or how is it actually getting, how can I get this text ready for my site? So this is the site policies are here to defend you. It's under your best interest to cover everything. So make sure it's the best if you can consult a lawyer, but there are online tools that you can do it with to generate your site policies. So just no matter which way you do it, just make sure you have your site policies. So because you might need it someday. Okay, so this is where you are adding your policies. And the second thing you can do at this page is customizing your checkout form. We, as a default, present at the checkout the most basic fields and the minimum information you need to collect from your customers. But you can decide to add more fields. For example, you can add you can ask your customers for company name, address line 2, phone number, and for each one of them, you can select if this information is mandatory to fill or it's optional. And you can even add additional info, like a custom field that you can ask anything your client with it. But just make sure, this is your checkout, and you want it to be short and easy in order to help customers actually complete it and pay you, so you will get the order. So keep it to the minimum information that you actually need. And you can decide if to display the policy agreement checkbox to your customers. We saw it in the example before. And you can also decide if this checkbox is checked by default or not checked by default. Showing it unchecked might be something you're obligated by your local law to do, so make sure you know what you need to do here. And another thing that you can do here is add your email subscription checkbox to the checkout as well, if you want to. And that's it. We learn how to add shipping regions and rates, set up store pickup, and add policies and customize your checkout form. So I think we are pretty much ready for business now.
Perfect. So one more question before we're moving to ask Crystal a few questions that people have been dying to know. For Lee, what are the best apps to manage product deliveries after receiving an online order?
Yeah, of course. So the job is not done when an order is being received. You actually need to ship your product to your customers. And this is on the more physical side of this process and not online, but we still have some features to support you and help you get this whole process done. I think this is, we have two things to offer. If you just got started, you probably you don't have tons of orders yet. You will get there, but in order to ship your products, you need to get a shipping label. This is how you pay for shipping. You purchase a shipping label. So first option to do is like Crystal said before, going to the post office and doing it physically from there. But we now have at Wix our own shipping, purchasing shipping label from our order page. It is available from our US users via USPS. So check it out if it's relevant to you. And we have a bunch of other apps that's doing just that, like ship stations and more that you can connect to your Wix site and just purchase labels there. So this is one option, and when you will get like tons of orders that you cannot be handling yourself anymore, hopefully it will happen soon. We recently added a few fulfillment solutions as well. So just keep it in the back of your head and remember that we allow it. So if it will be relevant to you, just find them on your Wix dashboard and connect it.
Perfect. Thank you, Lee. So, Crystal, people want to hear a lot from you. So, for example, tell us a little bit about. A lot of people that are currently listening to us are also in the beginning of like the stage where they're setting up their store and creating their business, like setting up their online business for the first time. Maybe they had a business before and then they moved online, or maybe they're just creating it. Can you share a little bit about like how you started? What are the challenges that you were facing in the first year?
Yeah, so the first year, the challenge was what everyone's challenge was to get customers. Like that's the first thing that everyone is worried about. Whether you're a service or a product business, that's what you need. You need customers. So that was like the main focus the first year, was to learn who my customer was. And my website played, because obviously you're behind a screen and you're selling products and no one sees you, no one cares about your personality, no one sees your product, and you have to be able to sell your product just on a screen, like just on your website, and you have to do that. And that was the main focus for the first year, of learning how to do that and utilizing a lot of the things that Wix had, such as, I tell people all the time, I utilized chat a lot in the beginning, like in the Wix chat, to learn who my customer was, because who I thought my customer was is not my customer to this day. Not everyone is your customer, and that's what you have to come to realize. I figured that out probably in like 30 days, just from the people that I was speaking to via chat and things like that. Once you figure out that, then you understand how to speak to your customer and how to sell your product to your customer. So that, I would say, in the first year is the most important thing to do. There's so much frivolous things that people focus on and do, like spending lots of money on logos. It's like so unnecessary until you actually have a customer and understand your customer and know what your customer want. Because I always tell people just that one, I use the logo as an example all the time. I think I spent like $5 on my logo in the beginning, like when we were Panty Prop, like when we first started. But that, say if you spend $300 or $200 on a logo, that $200 or $300 can actually go towards shipping supplies, instead of, because your customer, they don't care about what your logo looks like. So in the beginning, it's just a matter of learning what your customer likes. And who knows, what if your customer doesn't like yellow and you make your logo yellow? You have to learn who your customer is in order to move forward and to grow.
Amazing. Definitely knowing your customer, number one. What about your online strategy? Did you always sell online, like right from the beginning?
Yeah, so right off the bat, I always sold online. 2 years later after that, we did go into Macy's. I did it as a test. They were begging me to put the product in there. I actually pulled it out after 8 months. They wanted me to go into a few more stores because my online store was making way more money, and it was just too much stress of dealing with department store. So I just pulled it out because I had to focus more on the site, which is where my real customers really were, instead of on the brand awareness side. I would say like going offline is more for brand awareness. Going online is when you really want to sell your product.
So interesting. You once told me in one of our conversations that I asked you, why aren't you doing why don't you have your like an outsource for a fulfillment center? Why are you still doing it in-house? And you had a very interesting answer, which I would love for you to share with everyone.
Yes, it was a truthful answer because we understand our customer. Everything is in-house, right? And our warehouse is here. Our customer service department team is here. Our marketing is here. Everything is under one building. Our accounting department, everything is under one building. And it makes it so much easier for communication. And it also, everyone that's in this building knows our customer thoroughly. If we were to use, because I went and I've looked, like when we became extremely big, like when you just can't really like handle it anymore, I went and looked at several fulfillment, like I would say like 3PL companies. A lot of them are big out here that a lot of companies use. I even went to like one of the largest ones that a lot of companies that we shop from all the time uses. And it just was so unorganized to me. And I just felt like we would lose basis on who our customer is. So like the customer is our customer. And it's just easier to resolve someone's issue, to find a package, to deal with the carriers ourselves instead of getting third-party information. We don't do any third-party information. Unfortunately, we have to use the carrier who is a third party, but when it comes to speaking with our customer, we don't want to give them any third-party information. We just handle it right from there once they tell us what their problems are. And our customers are very vocal, like extremely vocal. They're the most vocal I've probably ever seen in my life. So when one little thing goes wrong, they definitely tell you. They don't even want to give you time to fix it. But as a company, and whether you're dealing with a 3PL or in-house, you still need the time to contact that third party, which is the carrier, to find out exactly what happens. And I can tell you right now, there's a majority of customers who don't care about third parties. So it's like, why do we need to get the information from the third party or handle the situation with a third party when we can keep it in-house and resolve the issue within 24 to 48 hours, the majority of the time? And that's the reason why we still do everything in-house.
It makes so much sense, since you're always saying like how knowing your customer is important, and then giving him the best customer support and doing it all in-house. It totally makes sense. Can you tell us exactly like which Wix, are you using Wix tools, or are you using any external tools to do the shipping and fulfillment?
Yeah, so with Wix, as far as actually shipping, like printing the labels, so I can run down. So we use Wix, like every day you have to download all of your orders. So my fulfillment team, which is about like 20 to 25 people, depending. Right now we have about 20 because of COVID. Like we've been easing them back in. So we're almost at full capacity, but usually say we have like between like 20 to 25 people. Every morning, our fulfillment managers, they download all the orders and then they distribute them. And then our fulfillment associates, they go in and they upload the CSV files into our softwares, because we're so big that we use the softwares of our carriers. We use USPS and we use FedEx, and we're about to go into DHL also. So they upload the CSV, pack the orders, and ship them out. The CSV file comes directly from Wix, puts it in, and then after they shipped out the order, the individual order, they go back in Wix, upload. We do it manual because I'm very old school. But we can upload our tracking numbers, and then it sends out an email directly from Wix. Wix has it where you just send out an email to the customers and let them know that their order is being shipped with the tracking number.
Sounds amazing. We've seen that, so we just loved seeing that. So it's so inspiring. Yeah. Beautiful. Anything else you would like to share, or any kind of tip that you would like to give those businesses that are just starting their way online before we finish?
Honestly, just to really like learn your customer. Like that's the most important. Like forget about the frivolous stuff. Like I said, like the most important thing is to make to cater to your customer, whoever that is. And everyone is not your customer. If someone hates you and doesn't like your product or your service, and you find a group of people saying that, those particular people are just not your customer. And you need to find your customer of who loves you.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's see if we have like another question from the audience before we wrap up. I see that people are asking about tracking shipments. Is there anything you would like to add about this?
Yes, that's what I explained. For me, I explained that as far as like tracking shipments, Wix has it where you can upload the tracking after you print the label and get it from either, say, USPS, FedEx, or if you're using UPS or DHL, you get those trackings and you just upload them into Wix. And it sends Wix automatically. As long as you hit the button, Wix automatically will send the email to your customer. So there's nothing that you have to do. We deal with like 1,000 customers a day, like orders going out. So if we never had that, like, can you imagine someone just like sitting there updating? It's in Wix and it just automatically just sends it to the customer, like with their tracking number.
Beautiful. Let's see if we have time for the last one. Okay, it's about marketing tools. People are asking if what marketing tools do you suggest using? I know that you've been advertising a lot and you've been using our email marketing tool. Any recommendation on marketing?
So marketing is like so many different like areas. Email marketing, believe it or not, but we did not use any email marketing until January of this year. We've never sent out one customer one email prior to this. So that is something that we just started, my marketing team. Now we send out what we found, because it's something that's new to us, even though she had a great background in it, is you can't just email people. Like, you have to email them with some type of relevance. You can't just say, hey, okay, like, go buy my product, because no one's going to do that. People get emails all the time. But if it's your customer who needs your product or wants to hear from you, giving your customers information about your product or just information about your category in itself, that helps a lot. Like, that's how I grew, like, in the beginning years, which is probably like what their question really is. In the beginning years, I didn't try to sell my product. I actually just gave information based around the category of my product. And I did that through Wix blog. So I would write blogs or have people write blogs, like writers that were interested in writing about like categories that were based around my product. And that's how I got customers in, because people are always looking for information. I don't care how old you are, what you are, how you are. We all every day need to know something. I Google probably over 300 times a day for something that I want to learn or know. And it's just bring the customers to you by providing them the correct information. And that, I would say, would be for the email marketing. It would be for if you're doing advertising on Facebook or AdWords or Pinterest, Instagram, wherever you are, the customer does not care about your product. What they care about is what's going to help them, and you provide them the information to do that. That is my best advice.
Great advice. Thank you so much. We're really, really happy with all the information that you're sharing, and from your experience, it's truly amazing. And thank you for being here with us today.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it. So talking about blogs and information, feel free to check out some resources that are available for you to help you build your website and to manage it. We have our Wix support. You can read them. You can read there a lot of articles. We have our Wix blog, and we have our Wix eCommerce blog. So just Google it and you'll see it. We have great articles and content that may help you run your business. So feel free to check it out. We also have you guys are on our Facebook page, so feel free to continue the conversation there. And we're here to answer your questions there too. And I want to thank you. Thank you too for giving us all these great advice and teach us how to do everything in our dashboard. And I want to thank you for listening, you guys that are here with us. We really appreciate your business. We really appreciate what you're doing and how you're pivoting and how you're moving online. And we're so excited to see it, and we would love to help. So the most important thing, of course, I can wish you is to stay healthy and keep creating great websites and manage your business with us. We're thankful and happy to see all your creations and your success. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.